we're going to talk about gear.
Gear. We love gear.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll keep that, yeah. From the NZ Drummer Podcast and AndrewRooneyDrums.com, it's the Student's Guide to Drum Lessons. Here are your hosts, Chris Dawson and me, Andrew Rooney. So, gear.
Gear. Let's talk about gear.
You've heard of GAS, Gear Acquisition Syndrome?
I have that.
Oh, you've got it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't mean to, but it was actually to do with recording equipment just recently, actually. Because it's like, you just start off with the small thing and then they go, well, you actually need the bigger thing because the bigger thing is better. And you go, yeah, I need the bigger thing.
And you want to sound better, don't you?
You want to sound better. And then all of a sudden you get the bigger thing and, oh, wait a minute, you've got to have these other bigger things to go with that big thing.
And they're shinier.
They're shinier, bigger, and it gets more and more and more. And then all of a sudden you're biggering.
And you still can't play.
Yeah, it's like, why am I recording sounding awful? It's like, I don't know. Just,
Obviously got to go bigger.
That's right. I thought these mics were going to keep me in time, but they don't somehow. Odd.
Take them back, mate.
I will do.
Extended warranty.
Yeah.
I get the gear questions. Actually, you know what? Probably daily.
You know what? I would say the same thing too.
Yep.
At least throughout the school term anyway, for sure.
Yeah.
It's always about gear. Yeah.
So it's massive. And it is important. You obviously do need gear to play the drums.
Sure.
So, where do you stand on this? I mean, what do you say when little Johnny or little Johnny's parents, he's really loving drum lessons. Mm-hmm. What should we do?
Right.
He's only had 2 or 3 lessons.
2 or 3 lessons, yeah. So I will go back again just a little bit back to my thought about what I used to think. I used to think that the better drum kit you had, the better a player you were.
Me too.
It's like, okay, if that guy's got like the flashiest super duper drum kit, then obviously he must be amazing.
Yep.
And it wasn't until later on when I started realizing that was absolute rubbish. Yeah, because you could see some people with this amazing equipment and they couldn't play very well, and then you could see people with dodgy equipment, and it's like, wow, how do they sound so good?
Yep.
So when parents come and ask about that, I will always direct them towards a practice pad. I try to get them to get a practice pad and a stand. And then I'll usually talk about sticks. Okay, I always just go get a pair of 5As. It doesn't matter what type. Main things, always spend over $10 on a pair of sticks, because you can go on to Trade Me these days and you can get a pair of sticks, some 5As or whatever, for $3 or something like that.
Don't do that.
And they are balsa wood pretty much. An old student of mine thought it would be great to buy 20 pairs of these sticks.
Oh, dear.
And just because he thought, well, I just need some sticks, they'll be fine. I think he broke 4 pairs within like half an hour or something like that. It's pretty crazy. It's like going,
imagine if those at a gig.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, thinking about the stick side of things, I mean, you can see some drummers that have been playing for a really long time with really top line sticks, and they're breaking those things. And it's like, wow, okay. I mean, they're hitting really, really hard. So having anything less than a good stick is just not going to be good. I mean, they're not usually weighted properly, and oftentimes they've got bananas in them and all that sort of stuff. So I would say to stick to, the bigger brands, going to stores and asking for those brands. I might say to them, okay, well, if you see the brand name in a pile of sticks on sale and they're under $10, that's fine. Buy those, because they'll still be good sticks. But don't buy no-named, whatever they are, sort of sticks, anything under $10. So that's usually, pad, pair of sticks, and try to get them a pad stand as well, because I actually had some problems when I was younger. I was playing on a pad, it was on a bed, and I used to practice a lot, and then I was just in an awkward angle because of the height of the bed, and I ended up getting a back injury.
Wow.
Where pinched a nerve somehow, and my upper back just went numb for ages. It went for lots of things to try to get it sorted out.
There you go. Yeah, great advice.
So I thought practice pad stand is like just so you can put it in that right height. That's the ones that I'll usually say to buy first. And then it goes, okay, let's talk about drum kits, because the parent wants to buy them something decent for Christmas. And so I usually go through the things, okay, let's talk about drums. There's the 3 things that I would like to outlay first off. One is drums are usually the most expensive one to buy out of like a guitar or whatever, that sort of thing. You can't hire drums, so you're going to have to buy them.
Unless you hire them from Scotty Drum Hire.
Unless you... Yes, exactly. Go to Scotty. Talk to Scotty about it. And then the next one is that they're large. They take up a lot of space. So if you've got a small room or you've got no place to put it, you've got to think about that aspect. And the last one is that they're loud. And you can put practice pads on them or X mutes and all that sort of stuff. But generally the student doesn't want to play on practice pads or those things. They want to make the sound, and so they're going to come off. So they're allowed. So if you're living next to a young family, the child's trying to get to sleep, or an older person who wants to go to bed early, it's going to be difficult. You can buy electronic drum kits, of course, so we'd talk about that a bit, and I usually mention sticking with, 2 of the upper brands and which is usually anything over $1,000 for a new kit, So that's usually what
it's an investment, drums.
It is an investment, yeah, exactly. And then we'll talk to the parent about maybe you should hold off on the drum kit for 6 months, because you're going to outlay this cost, and oftentimes the young kids will only last for probably a term, maybe 2 terms, maybe 6 months or something like that. I guess that's 2 terms.
And they're getting drums here.
And yeah, they're playing on drums here. And if you find that they're practicing on a practice pad and they're interested and they're still doing the stuff they're practicing, then all good. But buying a drum kit sometimes is a little bit of the horse before the cart sort of thing.
Oh man, you've actually basically said exactly what I would say as well. Yeah, one sort of piece of advice that I give to parents of students who are at school is just remember they're getting the drums here. They should ask at school as well.
Yeah.
If there's a possibility, maybe once a week even.
Absolutely.
Can I jump on the drums once a week at lunchtime?
Yep.
Highly likely they will be able to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it wouldn't be an issue on guitar or anything. Yeah. So let's, why not drums?
That's right.
Everyone's tearing around at lunchtime making a lot of noise anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you're getting on a kit twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of days in between on the pad, that's a pretty good start.
Yeah. What sort of practice pad do you say to the student to get? I tend to stay away from the black rubber pad.
Me too.
Because I find that's just a little bit too hard. It's quite loud as well.
Yep.
My one, I would usually go for some sort of gum pad rather than the Remo pad.
The Remo pad's the one that's essentially got a skin on it, doesn't it?
It's got a skin on it, and it's got a rim on it as well.
It's only slightly louder than a snare drum.
Yeah.
Slightly quieter than a snare drum.
That's right, exactly. Though I will say that they've just brought out, the Remo pads have just brought out a silent head on them. We just bought some at one of the schools, and they're actually quite nice to play on, but for me, it's usually a gum sort of pad of some kind,
It's
a rubbery.
It's really curious. I think it's just super important that it's a pad that you really like.
Yeah, that's right.
You've got to like your practice pad.
There are a lot out there, right?
And it probably sounds weird, but I think you need to go and actually try some out and think, even do I like the look of this?
That's right.
Am I going to be drawn to this in my bedroom and inclined to play it? I absolutely love my X pad, which I think I bought off you.
Oh wow!
Was that yours?
I quite possibly, yeah. I've got another X pad at home. Is it the one with
they are great with the ball bearings inside?
Ball bearings inside. My ball bearings are falling out, incidentally.
Right
from the pad.
Careful.
Yeah, sorry.
Other than that, the real feel pad.
Real feel pad. Great.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just a very standard pad, which is great.
Yeah,
which is
I think they're great.
You can get the ones that are quite soft, and essentially you're really working your wrist and stuff. Personally, I'm not much of a fan.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I can remember we used to have I think it might have been a ProMart one as well. They brought out a pad that was kind of like jelly.
Yes, that was probably the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it was like you hit it and it gave you no rebound whatsoever.
Yeah. It's a little bit like the concept of going for a jog with ankle weights on.
That's right.
And the theory that I'm going to be a lot faster.
That's right, yeah.
This doesn't really work like that. I'd just use your normal sticks.
The sticks that you're going to use.
Normal pad.
Yep.
If I was going to jump off the fence gear-wise, I don't think you can go too far wrong with Yamaha Stage Custom, which is really reasonably priced.
Yeah.
You're looking at around about $1,200 New Zealand, brand new.
Sure.
For a 5-piece drum kit.
Yeah.
I'll say some Zildjian A cymbals.
Sure.
Which again are not, they're not Zildjian Karope. They're not crazy up their prices. Pretty standard.
Yep.
Not going to break. Still used on albums.
That's right.
Sound fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you want to jump off the fence and give us something?
So I'm always thinking about the cost factor for the parents. And I do go through, these are the cheap drum kits that you can buy for the $500 or the $600 mark. I do try to get them to buy what I would say was an intermediate kit, which is around that sort of mark, $1,000 upwards, sort of around that bracket. And I tend to say those are the better kits that are going to last you a lifetime. So if you buy this one, your child doesn't continue drums, you're going to get a better resale value for it.
Yeah.
And if they do continue, they're going to be able to keep that kit forever. It's not going to be something that they'll throw away.
Yeah.
Whereas those cheaper drum kits, they tend to be, we'll just pass them on or something like that.
And things start breaking. And
they do, and that they don't sound that good. And it doesn't matter what you do to them, they just don't sound that good, Also mention things like, okay, well, drum heads. I mean, you can buy packs these days for about $90. I think there's like a snare and 3 toms, but no kick. But I tend to mention that it will be at least $100, $150, maybe even $200 to reskin your kit, which you're going to have to do anyway, because those heads, the cheap drum kits come with that real cheap plastic, that white sort of opaque sort of thing. You hit them and they get dents in them straight away. You go,
Or you break your hi-hats the first hit.
Exactly. You put your foot down and the hi-hat goes inside out, that sort of thing. Or you're hitting the crash and it sounds like a trash can. You want them to get good stuff.
That's right. The more I think about it, there's a lot of elements to this, isn't there?
There is. I mean, like my first drum kit, like I said, was $110.
For the whole kit?
For the whole kit. They had some cymbals. It was a second-hand drum kit.
Oh. This was in 1955, though, wasn't
1922.
The birth of the drum kit.
Yeah, that's right. I just hollowed out a tree, actually. So it is a difficult one to sort of, I want the child to get a drum kit. I know that they will be more happy playing on a kit, but I don't want the parent to buy rubbish.
No, that's right. What I always try and put in perspective for my students or parents of students is if they're considering buying an entire drum kit for $600, throne, hardware, cymbals, drums, $600, I'll always tell them this ride cymbal is worth more than that entire drum kit.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
That's probably a good way to think of things. And then they go, what?
Yeah.
And then you say, well, if that surprises you, that snare drum is 3 of those drum kits just for one snare drum.
One snare drum, yeah.
And that's obviously not to brag or anything, but
it's just to put it into perspective. This is what it is.
At some point, you're going to get what you pay for.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, thrones, a good throne can be, what, $400?
$400 easy. Yeah. Again, it's good to have a good seat. Yeah.
Obviously, 6-year-old who's just starting drums, don't buy a $400 Ludwig seat. Yeah. But
exactly.
Anyway, stuff to think about.
That's right.
You can find Chris at chris.jazzdrummer@gmail.com. I'm at andrewrooneydrums.com or andrewrooneydrums@gmail.com for email. And we will catch you next time with some closing thoughts and perhaps common questions.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
That's good.
See you then.